bore you to tears about war stories from the 1970s. But when Ron brought up the 70s, I was thinking, this country was in a mess, both in foreign policy as well as in domestic economic policy. With all due respect to President Jimmy Carter, I'm on the board of Habitat for Humanity. I've got great respect for what he does to help build homes for low-income people, and we have a ministry all over the world, from India to the Philippines to Latin America. I was just in South Africa. There are homes built by Jimmy Carter in villages in Africa. So I pay great respect to him. But the country was in a mess. He was talking about malaise. We had the simultaneity of inflation and unemployment, which was really a dilemma for Keynesian economists because they couldn't figure out what to do when you had both unemployment going up and inflation. In the late 1970s, inflation was 13, 14, 15%. I know Steve Moore gave you a lot of statistics today, and I don't want to bore you with them. But nonetheless, the country had that unbelievable simultaneity of inflation and unemployment, something that we were told could never happen as you managed demand, managed consumption. You would raise taxes to fight inflation, and you would have a little bit of unemployment to fight. You'd raise taxes and unemployment to fight inflation, and then you'd spur up the money supply and spend a lot more money in order to fight unemployment. There was no answer to the problems that our country found itself in with shortages. Paul Ehrlich of Stanford University wrote that book about the population explosion. There were too many babies being born. They were using resources. Someday they would want to drive a car. And there were all sorts of problems that the left had come up with to indict the capitalistic system. On the far right, we had the problem that they didn't want to cut tax rates. The tax rate in 1980, when Ronald Reagan was running for president, was 70. The capital gain tax was 50. It was a drag on the economy.